My name is James Wolfe. I'm the chairman of the Westerly Time Capsule Project for the greatest town in America. We're going to start this off right with a procession of colors by the Westerly American Legion VFW Color Guard. Pay attention to the front. We'll now proceed to the national anthem performed by the Stoning Madrigal Singers and Friends, conducted by Robert Guarino.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wasn't that amazing? Give him a big round of applause. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Matt Lewis, the President Emeritus of the Congregation of Sharit Zadik, to perform our invocation. Come on up, Matt.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, everybody, on this beautiful day. Let us gather in solemn reverence, honoring the 250 years of our nation's journey and the enduring promise of its future. We stand today as witnesses to a moment of profound significance, the burying of this time capsule, capturing the spirit, values, and achievements of our community as we celebrate the United States at its 250th year. May this vessel, forged in precision and sealed with care, be a testament to the unity of all branches of government, the voices of every state and territory, and the shared hope of a people who have built a nation from the soil of liberty. We remember the sacrifices, the innovations, and the ideals that have shaped our country's history. From the Declaration of Independence to the present day, we honor the hands that contributed to its contents, the minds that engineered its preservation, and the future generations who will one day open this vessel to learn from our past. May the capsule's watertight seal and protective design stand as a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even in the face of time's passage, our values endure. As we bury the time capsule, let us pray that whenever it is opened, the world will see not only the artifacts of our era, but the enduring light of democracy, justice, and the American dream. In the name of liberty, equality, and the promise of tomorrow, may this capsule be a bridge between now and the future. a living record of who we are, who we were, and who we plan to be. May we forever live in peace and harmony, free from hate, hunger, and strife. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and a special thank you to Jim Wolf for his hard work and making this event such a success. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, Westerly.
Good morning.
Distinguished guests, elected officials, members of the Westerly 250 Commission, friends, neighbors, and fellow Americans, welcome to the culmination of a year-long community journey as we gather for the burial of the Westerly Time Capsule Project. Today, on this 4th of July, as we celebrate the 250th birthday of the United States of America, we gather for a moment that will connect our generation with the people of Westerly 100 years from now. What began more than a year ago as an idea has become one of the greatest community-wide efforts our town, or any town, has ever undertaken. This time capsule belongs to all of Westerly, all 23,359 of us. The Chamber of Commerce stood beside us, and businesses across the town enthusiastically embraced the opportunity to leave their mark in history. They stood firm with us as they are the economic engine of our town. Every church parish, interfaith organization, our synagogue was invited to share their hopes and prayers of its congregations. And they answered the call, the moral and spiritual foundation of our town. More than 2,100 students and over 400 teachers and faculty members participated in this remarkable project. The young voices and future leaders, the promise of our town. From the Ocean House to the Windjammer, from the high school to the Haversham, from family-owned shops on Main Street to some of the largest employers. We visited businesses large and small because every person, every family, every organization, and every business is a part of the story of Westerly. Now I'd like to introduce you to several speakers, the first of which is our town manager, the Honorable Sean Lacey. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday to all the residents in the town of Westerly, 250 years. This is a huge celebration. As I can remember the 200th, as many people did, I was 9 years old. And some people can probably remember even further back, 25 years earlier than that, which would have been probably for 1951. I'm told on these steps, 100 years ago, there was a celebration of the 150th. We don't have many artifacts from it, but I'm told there was an event here. But thank you for everyone for coming out on this balmy day. I guess as we're all sitting here in the sweat stripping office, we can think back to what we were dealing with on February 27th. So this is much nicer weather, although it's not very comfortable at best. But I'll keep it brief. I know there's many speakers, but as I say happy birthday to everyone, my hat goes off to the 250th Commission for putting this together. You have to realize how much work went into this, and Jim Wolf. Jim Wolf has probably only been in town 4 years? 4 years? So I told him it takes about 30 before you really become a local. So he's got a ways to go. But my hat goes off to him because of the amount of effort and work he put into this. We have to commend him for it. He was out for the last 2 months. It's been going on for 6 months. He walked into my office one day and he said, hey, I want to get involved in this 250th, what's going on? And I told him, I said, I think you're a little late. The council just picked the committee last meeting, and I think they filled all the seats. But let me give you the name and you can give it a shot. So he did. He got involved, and he wanted to have the idea of this time capsule. and he went to them, and of course, when you volunteer to do something, they made him the commissioner of it and said, you can take it. And before long, he was on the committee. So now he's appointed on the committee itself. But for somebody that has only been in town 4 years, and not that we have the time because we'd all be soaking wet, but to tell you the story of why he's here, because he'd never been to Westerly in his life. And to put the amount of effort and commitment into this whole project for the citizens of the town of Westerly is commendable. So I want to give him a round of applause and thank him, because we would not be here if it wasn't for him. At any rate, we will continue on. I thank everyone for coming. I appreciate it. And not many of us, although some of us could be here, the little ones might be here 100 years from now, but Jim seems to think he may still be here, so he's going to drive the bus and pick us all up for the 100th celebration of this, and hopefully we are. But thank you all for coming, and happy 4th of July.
Next, I would like to introduce to you the Honorable Christopher Duhamel, the Chairman of the Westerly Town Council. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you all. I feel like I'm coming down the escalator, just like our president. Good morning, everyone. It's an honor to stand before you today as we commemorate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. 7 years ago, I had the privilege of serving as president of the Westerly Town Council during our 350th anniversary celebration. At that time, we reflected on the founding of Westerly and the generous generations who built this community. Today, we celebrate something even larger, our place in American history. When people think of Westerly, they think of our beautiful beaches, our coastal villages, historic downtown, and exceptional quality of life. Those things certainly matter, but what truly defines Westerly is its people. Our community has always been shaped by hardworking individuals seeking opportunity and a better future. More than a century ago, many immigrant families, including those who came to work in Westerly's granite industry, helped build the foundations of the community we know today. Through hard work, sacrifice, and commitment to family and community, they left a lasting legacy that continues to benefit us all. In 1900, Westerly was home to 9,000 people. Today, more than 23,000 residents call Westerly home year-round, and each summer that number nearly doubles as visitors and seasonal residents return to enjoy this special place. They come for Watch Hill, Weekapaug, Misquamicut, our harbors, ponds, beaches, and Wilcox Park. They come for our restaurants, shops, and historic downtown. But I believe they return for something more important. They return because of the spirit of Westerly. They return because this is a community where people care about one another. It is the volunteers who coach youth sports, support local charities, serve our veterans, strengthen our schools, and help neighbors facing difficult times. It is the countless residents who quietly give their time and talent to make Westerly a better place every day. The spirit of service is one of our community's greatest strengths. As we look forward toward the future, we face important challenges involving housing, economic opportunity, environmental stewardship, and growth. But whatever challenges lie ahead, we must continue to preserve what makes Westerly special: our natural resources, our neighborhoods, our traditions, and our strong sense of community. The people who founded this town, those who helped build it, the volunteers who sustain it today, and the children who will inherit it tomorrow are all part of that same story. A story of opportunity, a story of service, a story of community, and like America itself, a story that is still being written. So today we celebrate 250 years of American independence. Let us give thanks for those who came before us, appreciate those who serve our community today, and recommit ourselves to preserving Westerly for future generations. May God bless Westerly, Rhode Island, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce the Honorable Mary Schlaba, the Vice Chairwoman of the Westerly Town Council.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. We gather here today to celebrate the signing of the Declaration of Independence 250 years ago, marking the birth of our nation. Westerly, however, is over 350 years old, being incorporated in 1669. In 1846, granite deposits were discovered in Westerly, sparking a quarry boom. Immigrants and craftsmen from around the world, with the majority of these immigrants coming from Italy, came and settled here. For over a century, the craftsmanship of the people helped make Westerly famous. To this day, Westerly is known for its pink granite that has been used in the makings of public buildings, monuments, and memorials all over the world. The time capsule that we are placing in the ground today will be opened in the year 2126. The items inside will represent our lives here from the past to the present. So here's to honoring our past, embracing the present, and hoping for an even better future. Happy 4th of July.
Next, I would like to introduce the Honorable Caswell Cook Jr., Chairman of the Westerly 250 Commission. Yeah.
I hope in 100 years they invent the cure for heat stroke, which I'm sure there'll be many great medical advances. It's been my pleasure to be the chairperson of the Westerly 250th Committee, and I just want to take a second to point out the rest of the members of the committee that are up here. First of all, Ben Franklin here is Bob Madsen. He's our vice chairman. And up on the steps, we have Mark Berardo, Jean Gagne, Seth Logan. We have Mike Niemeyer from the council. We have Madeline Wedvik, and of course Jim Wolf. And that is your 250th committee that has been planning events this year. Time capsules are fun. Everybody know there's one in the park, and it was originally, there was one put in 1969, and I was born in 1974. So I remember maybe 10 years after it was buried, I was a little kid, and I would look at that plaque, the same kind of plaque that's going to go here, and I'd be like, someday, man, I'm going to open that thing. And it was like 30 years later, and somehow I got to be chairman of that committee in 2019. So we dug it up. And then we buried another one, which is in the park, that's going to be opened in 2069. So hopefully a lot of people here will be alive for that. I can say that we probably won't see, with the exception of a very few, what happens in 100 years. But how cool is it? Because, today, our town manager said, I think there was something on these steps 100 years ago, but there's not much evidence of it. 100 years from now, it'll probably be hotter than hell that day too. 100 years from now, people are going to be walking by that plaque for years and years and years, and they're going to be, what is in that thing? And I'm just so proud of all the stuff that is in there. It's amazing how much stuff Jim has collected and how many people have done things here. And I think the last thing I'll say is I love days like today, where regardless of where we are politically or religiously or in whatever battle we're in, today we come together and we're all Americans. And I think we can agree on that if we're standing here this morning.
Next, I would like to introduce the Honorable Victoria Gu, the Rhode Island State Senator. Give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you for all your efforts. Today's a very special day. We celebrate not only the 250th Independence Day for America, but also capture the enduring spirit of Westerly and all its residents. The Time Capsule Project invites all of us to share our stories so that a century from now, future neighbors can experience the sense of connection, resilience, and hometown pride that defines Westerly today. Thank you so much to the 250th Committee, community leaders, and everyone who contributed a letter. It's hard to imagine the year 2126, the year this capsule will be opened, perhaps by our great-grandchildren. How much will society have changed? I believe that as long as we are striving to build a more engaged democracy for the people, by the people, we and future generations will be all right. Thank you, everyone, and happy 4th of July.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you the Honorable Sam Azzanaro, the State of Rhode Island General Assembly. Give him a big round of applause.
chilly this morning. We need a coat. Welcome, everyone, to this celebration. As we look back over our state and nation's 250-year history, it's important that we celebrate our triumphs and reflect upon our setbacks. I can only imagine what Westerly residents 100 years ago would think about the way we live today in Westerly. Would they marvel at our achievements? Would they be proud of what we have accomplished? I suppose all of us would have the same reaction to the Westerly residents who will be opening this time capsule 100 years from now. Perhaps even some of our youngest residents will be around for that day, explaining that the town's future residents how life was in Westerly 100 years ago. Although they probably won't have to explain to them who Taylor Swift was, since I'm sure her music will still be as popular then as it is today. But let me remember this to all of you. Rock and roll was started in the 1950s, and I can remember Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chuck Berry, the Platters, and on and on and on. Let that music never die.
That's right.
This time capsule is a wonderful way to send a message into the future. A message about our town, its people, and what we love and cherish about living here in Westerly, the best town in the country, not just in the state of Rhode Island. I thank everyone who is involved in making today a reality, and I wish you all a very happy 4th of July. God bless the people of Westerly, and God bless the United States of America.
I do want to introduce the next person. It's the Honorable Brian Patrick Kennedy, the Rhode Island House of Representatives. I do not believe he was able to make it today. So we're going to go to the Honorable Dennis Algier, the former Rhode Island minority leader and a super strong supporter of the Westerly 250 Commission.
Thanks, Jim. And thank you, Jim, for not only your leadership and your vision, but also the hard work in putting this together. This is something extraordinary, and thank you. And also want to thank the Capsule, where are you? The Capsule, your leadership, and also the 250th Anniversary Committee. Thank you, folks. Good morning. And today, as we gather to celebrate our country's history, 250 years of American independence, while we celebrate the past during the semi-quincentennial, not just by celebrating our past, we are also celebrating the present by burying this time capsule. We are preserving the memories of our generation. We are placing our letters and our hopes for the future. We are leaving a piece of who we are so that when this capsule is opened in the year 2126, Americans of the future will know exactly how we lived and how deeply we believed in the American dream. Let's reflect on the brave patriots of 1776, knowing that our courage today is a foundation for the Americans who will open this capsule long after we are gone. Today is a celebration of unity and the lasting spirit of this great nation. God bless Westerly, God bless America, and happy birthday, America. Thank you.
Now we have a very special treat. We're going to have a public reading of the Declaration of Independence, the words that created a nation. I'm going to introduce all 7 of our readers, first of which is Bob Madison, Professor Emeritus, United States Naval Academy, followed by Ellen Madison from the Babcock Smith House, Pastor Cal Lord, the Central Baptist Church of Westerly, my good friend Betty Jo Cascini, the Westerly superstar on so many levels, Edith Eglin, the President Emerita from the Watch Hill Chapel, Corey Jacobson, the Membership Chair from the Westerly Historical Society, followed by Zachary Garceau, our Westerly Town Historian. Bob, take it away.
In Congress, July 4th, 1776, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transit causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such a government and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such as constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused his assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. He has refused his governors to pass He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records, for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasion on the rights of the people.
Speak right into the mic.
He has resolved for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise. The state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the condition of new appropriation of lands. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone, for the tenure of their offices and the amount of payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and cast out their substance. He has kept among us, at times of peace, standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has affected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power. He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation, for quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment from any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states.
For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us, in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in the neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule into these colonies, for taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments, for suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to legislate for us all in cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, and to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections among us and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers, the merciless Indian savages whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act that may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people.
Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislator to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our emigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity
and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence. They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and consanguinity. We must, therefore, acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, peace in friends.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of our divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Well done, well done. I'd like to introduce Reverend Matt Ponder from the Christ Episcopal Church, who will lead us with a benediction.
As we bury this time capsule, let us remember that our times are in God's hands. May we go forth with gratitude for those who have come before us, with care for those who walk beside us, and with hope for those who will follow after us. May the people of Westerly continue to flourish in justice and compassion. May neighbors care for one another, and may each generation faithfully steward the gifts of God's creation. May the choices we make today become a blessing for those who will uncover these memories 100 years from now, and may they find in them a witness to our shared humanity and our enduring hope. And may we depart from this place committed to leaving a legacy of faithfulness, generosity, and love for all who come after us. Amen.
Amen.
Our next musical tribute, America the Beautiful, performed by the Stony Madrigal Singers and Friends. If you know the words, and I know you do, sing along.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee.
Thank you.
In closing, we wanted this time capsule to reflect not just a few voices, but the entire community. To every student who wrote a letter, every teacher who encouraged them, every pastor who offered a blessing, every business owner who welcomed us, and every resident who contributed a piece of their life to go into this capsule, I offer my greatest gratitude. You touched the hearts of us all. 100 years from today, on July 4th, 2126, the people of Westerly will open this time capsule. They will discover who we were, what we valued, what we dreamed about, and how deeply we loved our town. May the residents of Westerly look back upon us with pride, just as we look back with gratitude upon those who built America. We celebrate today. And to the youngest among us, even the infants in their parents' arms, you are the future stewards of this community. Someday, you will tell the story of those who came before you. On behalf of the Westerly 250 Commission and the Westerly Time Capsule Project, thank you to everyone who made this historic endeavor. May God continue to bless the town of Westerly, the state of Rhode Island, and the United States of America. On Monday, July 6th, Richard Brooks from Buzzy Memorial will install the Westerly granite plaque that will mark this location for the residents and visitors who will see this marker over the next century. And they will anticipate the opening as it gets closer to July 4th, 2126. Happy birthday to America. Thank you very much for coming and being a part of this tremendous project. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Westerly way. Many thanks to our very own band. Two of our Westerly High School students, Jacob Harwood, Brendan Speck, followed by Tristam Oliveira and Maximus Claros. Their parents are so proud of them for being here today. And they have just released a new song, a new single called Wake Up. And they want to perform that for you, but go right ahead and take it away.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Westerly. Happy 4th of July, everyone. We're going to start off with American by Real Diamond first.